Oh, hi! Welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English! I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good! Okay, well let's learn English together. And welcome back, people. Yes, the weekend has gone. The fun has faded. And now all we're left with is the fading memory of all the fun of the fair. Now, don't worry, I'm only kidding. Although we know that Friday is the best day of the week because giraffes are, as we all know, taller than both pigs and anteaters, or something like that. As our old friend George Orwell told us a while back.
Hello, I'm George Orwell. I'd just like to remind you that pigs may be smaller than horses, but geese are smaller than pigs. And although all days are equal, Friday is the best. But the days of the week are all equal. But Friday is still the best, and giraffes are taller than anteaters. That's all from me for now. Speak to you later. Bye.
Oh, was that it? Okay, sorry, I'd forgotten what George's actual words were. So let's try that again, shall we? Pigs may be smaller than horses, but geese are smaller than pigs, and giraffes are taller than anteaters. Okay, and as a direct result, this means naturally that Fridays are better than all the other days in the week. Yes, well, we know that this is, in actual fact, the case, but we also know that the weekend is normally better than the week. So that's another element that George needs to include, and consider in his theory. I'm sure that the next time we see him, he will have updated his theory. Okay, but that's a probable future event, and that's then, not now. What is now is that the weekend has come to a close, and we've arrived once more on the doorstep of Monday. Or perhaps it's the other way around. Perhaps we haven't arrived on Monday's doorstep. Maybe Monday has arrived on ours. No matter, it makes no difference. It makes no odds. Do you know that phrase? It's something you often hear in Britain. It makes no odds, and all it means is that it doesn't matter. When someone uses this phrase, that's all that they mean. It doesn't make any difference whether we do X or Y. It makes no odds to me. All right. And it's true. It makes no odds whether we've arrived on Monday's doorstep or Monday has arrived on ours. The result is the same. We've finished another weekend, the 36th of the year, according to my calculations. But I've been wrong before. You all know that there was that time in the summer of '81 for a start. Anyway, that too makes no odds to us. The weekend has gone, and now we find ourselves once more here at the start of a new week. And that means that once again we've got the opportunity to study and learn some more. Hooray! All right then, are we all ready? Well, I'm ready. The crew's ready, and well, that only leaves you lot. And let's face it, you should all be ready by now. So, okay, on we go. Well, what was the last thing that we looked at? That's how we'll know where we have to start today. So, what was it? Yes! Congratulations! In our last lesson together, we were looking at word order, weren't we? Yes, I'm sure you all remember. So let's have a brief recap, and then we'll be ready to get started on something new, okay? All right, so as we know, the basic English sentence base follows a pattern of subject, verb, object, if there is one. I am a man. I'm a man. We are Hungarian. We're Hungarian. He is tall. He's tall. Okay, so that's the basic structure of an English sentence. Now we know that things change structurally wise when we change our sentence from a positive sentence, like we just saw, to a negative sentence, for example. When we're making negative sentences, we need the adverb not to show that this sentence is negative, not positive. If the sentence is in the present simple and the verb is the verb to be, then all we do is slip the adverb not between the verb, the correctly conjugated form of the verb to be, and the object, or whatever follows the verb. S plus V plus not plus O. Okay, but before we go any further, let's just quickly think about abbreviation. When we speak, we normally use the shorter, abbreviated form, and sometimes this is also true when we're writing. So, we all remember how we abbreviate, don't we? Yes, for most subjects we have a choice. We can join the correctly conjugated form of the verb to the subject pronoun and use an apostrophe to show that a letter is missing, or we can join the correctly conjugated form of the verb to the adverb not. We can abbreviate this way or that way for the vast majority of subjects. But there's one subject where we can't do this, isn't there? Yes. The first person singular. When we're making a sentence about the first person singular, we can only connect the subject or subject pronoun to the correctly conjugated form of the verb. The adverb not has to remain on its own. With the other subject forms, we can connect the adverb not to the correctly conjugated form of the verb to be, or leave it sitting on its own. But with the first person singular, the adverb not has to remain on its own. S plus V plus O. Positive. I am a man. I'm a man. S plus V plus not plus O. Negative. I'm not a man. Negative. I amn't a man. S plus V plus O. Positive. We are Hungarian. We're Hungarian. S plus V plus not plus O. Negative. We're not Hungarian. Negative. We aren't Hungarian. S plus V plus O. Positive. He is tall. He's tall. S plus V plus not plus O. Negative. He's not tall. Negative. He isn't tall. Okay, so that's the situation for positive and negative sentences in the present simple using the verb to be. Now, what about questions in the present simple using the verb to be? Well, what is it that we all remember about the structural form of a question in English? What happens? Yes, that's right. When we ask questions in English in the present simple with the verb to be, the structure changes from S plus V plus O to V plus S plus O. The subject and the verb change positions. And we add a question mark to the end to let people know that we're asking a question. But we all know that, don't we? All right, so let's see those sentences as questions. Positive, I am a man, I'm a man. Negative, I'm not a man. V plus S plus O plus question mark, question, am I a man? Positive, we are Hungarian, we're Hungarian. Negative, we're not Hungarian, we aren't Hungarian. V plus S plus O plus question mark, question, are we Hungarian? Positive, he is tall, he's tall. Negative, he's not tall, he isn't tall. V plus S plus O plus question mark, question, is he tall? Okay, now what about when we're making sentences using the present simple, but this time when we're not using the verb to be? What happens then? What's different? Well, for one thing, the conjugation is different, isn't it? With verbs in the present simple, we add an S to the end of the infinitive in the third person singular. Okay, that's not strictly true. We sometimes add ES if the infinitive ends in S or SH or CH or X. And if the infinitive ends in a vowel plus Y, we add S, but if the infinitive ends in a consonant plus Y, then we remove the Y and add IES. But we've been through all this before, haven't we? Yes, so we can look at this another time. Let's get back to the word order. Okay, so when we're making positive sentences with a verb in the present simple, then we follow the same pattern as usual. S plus V plus O. I like pizza. She likes giraffes. You prefer rhinos. Okay, and as we can see in those examples, we start with the subject, or to be more accurate, the subject pronoun. I, she, you, and follow with the verb correctly conjugated. I like, but she likes. We didn't forget the S on the end of the infinitive, like, for the third person singular. Okay, and then comes the object. What is it that I like? Pizza. What is it that she likes? Giraffes. What is it that you prefer to giraffes? Rhinos. Good. Now what about the negative? Who remembers? There's something we need, isn't there, to make a negative sentence in the present simple when we're not using the verb to be. We need an auxiliary verb. Yes, negative sentences in the present simple need an auxiliary verb. Okay, and which verb are we going to use as the auxiliary verb? Yes, that's right. In present simple negative sentences, we use the verb to do as the auxiliary. Good. And what do we know about the verb to do? Well, there are only two forms, only two. I do, you do, he, she, it does. We do, you do, they do. So, depending on the subject of the sentence, we're either going to need do or does to make our positive sentence negative. Okay. But the auxiliary isn't enough on its own, is it? No. What's the other word that we need? Yes, that adverb, the adverb not. Okay. But what happens to the structure when we make a negative sentence in the present simple? We follow the same basic pattern, but we have to add the auxiliary verb, don't we? Okay, so where does it go? Well, it follows the subject. The structure of a negative sentence in the present simple when the verb is not, that is, not the verb to be, follows this pattern. Subject plus auxiliary verb plus not plus main verb. Okay, so let's see what happens to the three sentences we have. SVO, positive, I like pizza. S plus AV plus not plus MV plus O, negative, I do not like pizza, I don't like pizza. S plus V plus O, positive, she likes giraffes. S plus AV plus not plus MV plus O, negative, she does not like giraffes, she doesn't like giraffes. S plus V plus O, positive, you prefer rhinos. S plus AV plus not plus MV plus O, negative, you do not prefer rhinos, you don't prefer rhinos. Okay, so if the negative sentence is in the present simple tense and uses the verb to be, then we don't need an auxiliary verb. But if the verb in the sentence is another verb, then we do need an auxiliary verb. We just can't make negative sentences in the present simple without the auxiliary verb to do. And that brings us to the other time when we also need the auxiliary verb, the verb to do. You all know when this is, don't you? Yes, that's right. We also need an auxiliary verb when we're asking questions in the present simple, when the verb isn't the verb to be. Yes, when we're making sentences with most verbs in the present simple, then we don't need an auxiliary verb. But when we want to make a negative sentence or when we want to ask a question, then we do need an auxiliary verb, the verb to do. So, how does the structure of the sentence change? Well, when we went from the positive sentence to the question using the verb to be, what changed in the structure of the sentence? Yes, that's right. We went from S plus V plus O to V plus S plus O plus question mark. So the subject and the verb changed positions. They swapped places. Instead of starting with the subject or the subject pronoun, we started with the verb and then followed the verb with the subject or subject pronoun. S plus V plus O changed to V plus S plus O. And then we bunged a question mark onto the end, but you didn't forget that, did you? Okay, now we've run out of time, so what we're going to do is pick up where we left off tomorrow and answer that burning question. If you fancy, you can give it some thought, but in all honesty, it's not a difficult question to answer. It's the sort of question you can probably answer while you're doing the hoovering or feeding the dog or washing the gibbon, something like that. Anyway, even if you find you don't have enough time to think about the question, perhaps you've got too much homework to do, perhaps you've got to take the llama to the park. Anyway, don't worry. All you have to do is tune in tomorrow. Same time, same place, but not now. Tomorrow, and we'll check our answers together. All right, people, I'm off. Coffee, coffee, coffee! See you all tomorrow. See you later. www.mediaclick.hu, and goodbye!